New videos every day.
Hello, my name is Athena Jezik. I'm a licensed massage therapist in the state of Texas. And I would like to talk to you today about the differences between Western medicine, that model of therapy and treatment, and alternative therapies and that model, and the differences of it, so that you can have a better understanding and a distinction about why you can choose one or the other, and why possibly that they don't work very well together. The Western model of medicine looks at the human body as if it were an automobile or a machine. The idea behind that is to administer medications that are going to control a function or maneuver a function or try to get some different levels to change. Instead of taking the body as a whole and looking at it as a whole unit, it's looked at as bits and pieces of a machinery. So that is basically how Western medicine is operated. And then alternative medicine looks at the human body as if it were an environmental system. There we see a synergistic relationship between the organs and the functions and the glands and everything that goes on. And the idea behind that is that when one is out of balance, they're all going to be out of balance. So we want to pull us into the space of balance. And that is done by observing the body, observing what's going on, and then giving the body assistance in allowing its own healing to occur. So one is very active in applying something to instigate a change or instigate a certain structure to perform a particular way by tests and what that sort of measurement is saying it should be or shouldn't be, as opposed to allowing the body to just take on what it needs to take on through nutrients, through healthy lifestyle, through good mental thinking, through the entire scope of who we are and what we're about, and then allow the body to be able to restore and reconstruct itself back to wholeness. This works, and I can tell you that it works. A lot of people who go and continue on Western medical treatments do not live as long as people who go and begin to understand and practice the alternative treatments. The Western model is hard on the body. There's a lot of chemicals put into the body, which puts a lot of load on the body. So understanding from an alternative point of view why that isn't maybe the most desired way of treating the body is as we take in toxins and poisons, the liver is going to have to process a lot of that through. So therefore, we're putting a load on the system right there. Then we're putting a load on the lymphatic system to be able to clean that out and filter that out. We're probably not getting good nutritious food because unfortunately, there's not a lot of good food out there anymore. It's harder to find good food because there's government regulations on food. We can't have raw milk. They don't want us to really have organic food, so the prices are much higher. So we are at a disadvantage in that area. Whereas the alternative, we see it that the nutrients are very important for the body. And when nutrients are present in the proper state that they're supposed to be in, the body can restore and build itself up. Now looking at the alternative side, there's one more step that even goes farther, and it's a little more profound, and it's a little more esoteric in its viewpoint. And that is that we are also affected physically with physical symptoms because of disturbances in either the energetic or the emotional bodies. Now that might be a little bit hard to understand, but looking at ourselves as a whole unit and an entire environment, and rather than being a piece of a machinery, we begin to see that our connection to our divinity, the connection to our Creator, is a part of who we are. So physical dysfunction and physical manifestation from the alternative point of view and understanding means that we are manifesting a disease in our organs because there's something that's out of balance, possibly with the organ, but quite possibly it could be with something emotional, some trauma, something we've held on to for a long time, something that we're not willing to let go of, something that we can't even see. We might hold on to anger, we might hold on to bitterness, we might hold on to different things like that. We may be unable to even forgive ourselves for something. And as that continues to eat at us and disturb our energetic balance, we're going to eventually see a manifestation in our physical because we are all connected in that way. That can even go farther out because as we're disturbed within our own selves, that's really the condition of what we are going to reflect out into the world. So we can talk to this getting to be a global situation or not. For me, just looking at the two models and then thinking about what's happening right now on the planet with all the war and all the deception and all the lies and all the cover-ups is really a reflection of what's happening to a lot of us the way we are in our bodies. We're disconnected from our spirits. We're disconnected from our energy. We look for things from the outside. We're unwilling to take responsibility for ourselves. And so therefore we find ourselves physically sick and we find our world around us in a state of disarray. If we were to take responsibility for ourselves and begin to understand that perhaps the body does have consciousness, perhaps each cell really does have consciousness, perhaps the organs and systems do have a communication with each other, and rather than blocking or trying to control that communication, allowing for it to open up and become rich and full in its communication with each other, that wholeness would occur. We would not only begin to see physical changes in our body towards wholeness, we would also begin to see that our world would change on the outside. I am very much aligned with the idea that it is how we are looking at ourselves is how we look at the world. So if we want to see, in my opinion, peace and harmony and balance come back to the planet environmentally and just in the way that we treat each other as a human race, that it would be important to begin to look at our own selves and how are we treating our body. Are we going to people that are causing harm, or are we going to people that are helping us to be empowered and who are not causing harm? That is the question. Thank you very much.
If you liked this video, we have hundreds of more alternative videos ranging from sexual health to psychology to mind control. So if you liked it, go ahead and click on me to enter the Psychetruth channel.